almost extinct Himalayan monal bird found its home in Bhutan. Bhutan producing oxygen for the world, where the forests outrun the flames. Introduced to world in 1972, a beloved king unseals the secret gates, offering a long-hidden kingdom to the world. Welcome to Bhutan. Welcome to the inaugural expedition of the Global Wellbeing Community to the Sacred Kingdom of Bhutan. This is a team of 11 travelers, a diverse collective spanning different generations, professional fields, and specialized expertises. Though we come from worlds apart, from the cutting edge of technology to the depths of the creative arts, we are bound by a shared devotion to environmental stewardship, spiritual health, and the practice of mindfulness.
Good, thank you. We were on this amazing trip to Bhutan with the members of the GWN. Dinesh Chandraji, my very old friend, my mentor of years, brought us here. The high point was hit as soon as we landed because we were told that the Honorable Prime Minister of Bhutan is looking forward to meeting us. And a little while later, we were ushered into a room where actually the Honorable Prime Minister arrived. We sat down, had a conversation with him, the most amazing person I've ever met. He asked us a reverse question: how much time do you all have to talk to me? Rather than us asking how much time His Excellency has for us, he asked us and clearly told us he had all day for us if we were willing. Anyways, this was a person very highly spiritually inclined, talked about the Gelephu Mindfulness City project, and we look forward to this new responsible development, a conscious city with all kinds of good practices, a balance between environment and commerce happening in the years to come, and us associating with Bhutan, ourselves on a deeper spiritual plane while investing as well. It was nice. Thank you, Dinesh.
Sitting across the Prime Minister of this hidden kingdom and speaking not of politics, but of purpose, of gross national happiness, of what it truly means to build a civilization around being, not just having.
With a confined footprint of just 4% of the nation, this special administrative region will lay the foundation for future generations, becoming a new model for a lasting legacy. Welcome to Gelephu Mindfulness City. Descending from the Himalayas to the lush tropical plains, a cascade of urban terraces is shaped by the uninterrupted flow of water, plants, and animals. A land where bridges become cultural landmarks, connecting one neighborhood to another. A human-scale environment designed to inspire and nurture global talent, fostering a culture of collaboration, experimentation, and innovation. In Gelephu, green and clean surroundings will drive businesses towards sustainability, striking a balance between economic success and environmental prosperity. Built with locally sourced river stones, timber and bamboo, the Mindfulness city blends tradition with modernity, preserving heritage while advancing progress and cultivating resilient, self-sustaining communities. Here nature is enhanced rather than displaced, with every path drawing you deeper into the wild. This sanctuary for spiritual and physical rejuvenation evolves with its ever-changing landscape, integrating infrastructure with social activities and nature-based solutions. A constellation of public spaces will gather residents of the Mindfulness City to share a life of learning and happiness. In the Vajrayana Buddhist capital of the world, people of all cultures will unite and practice compassion, kindness, and inner peace, revealing Bhutan's greatest teachings. Together, we begin a new era of mindful prosperity.
Things really stand out. One is when we met the Prime Minister of Bhutan, a very unassuming person. And I think we have a format in our mind that these bureaucrats will be very, formal and they will go with the protocol, etc. I think that was a big revelation that, how a senior like a Prime Minister can go down and he's quite lateral. He has got insights with all what is happening.
So gross national happiness is how Bhutan measures their success as a country, unlike other countries which use GDP, which is gross domestic product. So gross national happiness measures the happiness of all the people in the country, and if the people are happy, that means that the country is successful. I'm more happy because of the nature in our country. We get to enjoy. We get to see the night sky properly, less light pollution, and we also have free healthcare, and most schools have free education, which I feel that it makes the person more happy.
Bhutan's gross national happiness is a revolutionary philosophy enshrined in its constitution, proving that true wealth isn't measured by GDP alone. While global metrics like the Human Development Index focus on material growth, Bhutan's model demands a balance of culture, psychological well-being, and ecological sanctity. By legally screening every law for its impact on happiness, this secret kingdom measures something the rest of the world has forgotten: the preservation of a people's soul. Beyond boardrooms and monasteries, our group of 11 found Bhutan's heart at the Tashi Namgai resort. Here, ancient rammed earth walls and fortress rooflines meet modern luxury, blending the crackle of a fireplace with the hum of the future. It's more than a stay. It's a sense of continuity, where you aren't just a visitor, but a guest of the centuries, held gently between the past and what's to come.
Hello, good morning everyone. So my name is Pema. So I'm a guide here in Bhutan. So instead of guide, I like to call myself the brand ambassador of Bhutan. So currently we are here at the Trashi Namgai resort. So it is one of the luxurious resort here in Paro. So currently we are here in Paro town. So it is famous for the tiger's nest hike, and it is also famous for the only international airport here in Bhutan. So over here we have the Pachu river. So the river actually comes from the base of the second highest mountain here in Bhutan, which is the Mount Chomolhari. So this resort is located nearby the Pachu river. So it also has a good view of the Paro International Airport. Archery is the national game of Bhutan. So archery over here in Bhutan, it's not only played for competition. So it's like a celebration here in Bhutan. So basically the men, they come and play over here the women, they also participate by bringing alcohol for the men. So they will cheer for their team and they will try to disturb the opposition team. Later in the evening, they all will gather together. They will have the celebration of dancing. They will have food together. So it's a celebration in Bhutan, not just a competition. You must have seen that the windows, they have the leaf-shaped windows. So that's a blending of our traditional structure with modern structure. So it is to preserve and promote our culture, our traditions, our traditional architecture. The promotion of culture is a part of our gross national happiness. Very important for a country like Bhutan to preserve and promote.
Hi. यहाँ से पत्थर हैं. So जो natural beauty है वो intact है. That is the best part of it. यहाँ पर आप देख सकते हो कि इन्होंने बैम्बू के साथ बहुत प्ले किया है and ये यहाँ का भूटान में बहुत species of bamboo लगाई जाती हैं. As far as I was reading, searching on Google, तो अराउंड 18-20 प्रकार के बैम्बू लगाए जाते हैं एंड दे प्ले विद बैम्बू, यू नो, लैंडस्केपिंग में, पाथवेज में, रोड साइड. ये भी है, ये एक स्पीसीज है बैम्बू का. वो दूसरा है, एक्चुअली दिस इज द ओल्ड वन, वो यंग प्लांटेशन है. एंड ये जो सेट आउट्स जिस तरह से बनाए हैं एंड राइट. अच्छा, एक आपने खासियत देखी कि आप कोई भी बड़े बड़े यहाँ पर पहाड़ देख लो, उनके ऊपर खामोखा की एनक्रोचमेंट या घर नहीं बने हुए. भूटान में सिर्फ 8 लाख की पॉपुलेशन है. बात सिर्फ पॉपुलेशन की नहीं है, बात अथॉरिटी की भी है कि कितनी अच्छी तरह से उन्होंने मेंटेन करके रखी हैं चीज़ें. ठीक है, पावर लाइन ज़रूर है वहाँ पे, बट दे हैव नॉट अलाउड एनीबडी टू कंस्ट्रक्ट एनीवेयर. सो जो भी है वो वैली में कंस्ट्रक्शन है एंड दिस इज द ब्यूटी ऑफ पारो. एंड यू कैन जस्ट सी फ्रॉम हियर. सबसे मैजिकल चीज़ लगी वो ये है, वी कैन सी द रनवे ऑफ पारो एयरपोर्ट फ्रॉम हियर, विच इज सपोज टू बी. आज तो हेजी है, क्लाउडी है, वी आर नॉट एबल टू सी द एंटायर माउंटेन रेंज, बट इट इज अ वेरी डेंजरस लैंडिंग स्ट्रिप. A very interesting fact is that somebody was telling me in the aviation industry that there are only 14 trained pilots on the planet who are actually trained to land their planes at Paro Airport. Now this is very interesting. Commercial pilot. तो उन्होंने बकेट्स लगा दी हैं, बकेट के नीचे होल है. वो जो बकेट है ना, उसके नीचे होल है, तो वो होल से पानी दूसरे बकेट में गिरता है, वहाँ से वहाँ, वहाँ से वहाँ, तो स्पिल भी नहीं होता पानी.
Thanks, Jimmy, for this beautiful, delicious, nutritious breakfast this morning.
At the threshold of the 7th century Kiichu Lhakhang temple, the modern world finally dissolves into whispers. Amidst the glow of trembling butter lamps and ancient timber, the kora means circling the temple in the footsteps of centuries. Here, concept of spinning wheels is. With each turn of a prayer wheel, the mountains watch in silence as the wind translates our wordless prayers into the sky. From the ancient stillness of Kiichu, the group climbed to the highland plateau of Pangbisa, where the Royal Academy stands with quiet authority. Commissioned by His Majesty Druk Gyalpo, this institute is Bhutan's deepest investment. Arun Kapoor, or Dasho Arun Kapoor, recipient of the royal title in Bhutan, is a visionary educator and a cornerstone of Bhutan's modern academic landscape. As the director of the Royal Academy and a pioneer of the Bhutan Baccalaureate, he has dedicated decades to harmonizing ancient wisdom with contemporary excellence. A recipient of the prestigious Red Scarf honor from His Majesty the King, Arun brings to our community an unparalleled depth of insight into the Bhutanese spirit and the future of global education. From his incredible hospitality to arranging our high-level meeting with the Prime Minister, Arun's dedication has been the bridge between our community and the very heart of Bhutan's future. He doesn't just teach a curriculum, he embodies the spirit of a nation.
We have a camp, winter camp. It's now called the Royal Academy Camp. So there, toppers and students in need who are qualified to come here to the camp for 5 days and show what they have. So the teachers, 60 students, to study here. It's from all over the country. So we are from all over the Dzongs. So that's why they made this a boarding system.
The academy is housed in the country's first modern Dzong, a breathtaking fusion of heritage and high-tech design. It is the only Dzong in Bhutan with an internal lift, symbolizing an accessible future. Its central tower, Utse, houses a library and exhibition center, vertically connecting knowledge, culture, and worship. His Majesty King Druk Gyalpo conceived this institute not just as a school, but as a lighthouse for the nation. Under the guidance of Dasho Arun Kapoor, the Academy is pioneering a transformation that will eventually reach every school in the kingdom.
So we've had people from Oxford, from Harvard, from all over the place, from Yale, from Spain, from many places who went through this whole process. And that's what it is. So I'm not going to go into that part because I want him to talk. But before we go into the conversation next door, I'm going to take 5 minutes and explain to you this map of Bhutan. So the district education officer sends us 5 names from each. So those are the SP. Come and talk to us. He's the guy who runs the admission. And as we speak, we've got 150 kids on the old campus going through this admission process.
Dunkar is the national language of Bhutan. Under the institute, we are one of the only institutes in the world where there is a research center, there's a teacher training center, and then there is a school in between, which kind of work in synergy. The basic workflow here is to put into place His Majesty's vision, which is why he got Mr. Kapoor to be here, to look at how can we develop an education system that is first for Bhutan and then from Bhutan.
So that was one. The second, particularly from Arun, I saw what is a holistic taking care is. Right from picking us from airport to putting or exposing his entire organization in front of us, giving us the detail. So sincere. He was throughout with us till we departed after lunch, after dinner. And again, it is not that he ended the whole discussion in that one day. He continued to build the connect with the Bhutan government and us.
Standing sentinel above Paro, the 17th century Dzong watchtower has traded its soldiers' purpose for a sculptor's grace. Once a fortress built for war, its circular stone walls now house the National Museum, cradling centuries of thankas, masks, and memory. The building hasn't changed its bones. It has simply changed what it chooses to protect, inviting us to look through windows that once watched for enemies and now behold only beauty.
I made new friends, new family, new friends, new brotherhood. But yes, I always believed in it, but this is evidence that it's not a geography which makes a country, it's the people. So Bhutan में ये आपको clear evidence मिलता है कि the people are so good, people are so clean, non-corruptible, and जो भी है थोड़ा बहुत होता होगा, लेकिन that is what makes a nation.
One question was that what is
Bhutan, how is Bhutan different from others? So I think Bhutan, especially our main strength comes from unity. We have survived as a nation for centuries without getting invaded and surviving till today, mainly because of unity. The people have always been united together. So I think one of our strength is unity. Thank you.
For Bhutan's spiritual geography cannot be read without knowing the man who first drew the map. Known as unifier, Zhabdrung Ngawang Namgyal, monk, warrior, visionary, arrived in Bhutan in 1616, not as a conqueror, but as a refugee from Tibet, carrying nothing but his lineage, his faith, and an extraordinary clarity of purpose. He found a land of immense natural beauty and equally immense fragmentation, small warring territories, rival chieftains, no common identity, no singular voice. He built one. Through a combination of spiritual authority, military resolve, and profound political intelligence, Zhabdrung unified these fractured valleys into a single, coherent nation, constructing the great Dzong fortresses as simultaneous seats of governance and worship, architecture itself becoming the statement of unity. His most enduring gift was the Choesi system, a dual governance structure of elegant balance, dividing authority between the Jkempo, the spiritual leader, and the Drukdesi, the secular ruler. Sacred and temporal power held in deliberate equilibrium, neither consuming the other, each completing the other. It was, in its way, the world's first conscious constitution. Governance rooted not in conquest, but in complementarity.
The next day we decided to meet the most vulnerable people of Bhutan. We were very fortunate to have visited a nunnery which has over 300 children across the most vulnerable sections of Bhutan. We got to see them at prayer, we shared a meal with them, and we just got to spend some time with those children. I think that was one of the most touching and heartful experiences for me.
No moment rearranged our hearts quite like Karma Lek Shaling, an orphanage and home led by the luminous Khenpo Karma. Here, boys who arrived with nothing have inherited a vast legacy of love and purpose wrapped in crimson robes. Watching them oscillate between earnest, sacred recitation and irrepressible, giggling mischief, we saw human dignity in its purest form. In that courtyard, between a prayer and a burst of laughter, our group of 11 quietly recalculated what it truly means to be wealthy and happy.
For me, I just look.
Show me, where are your friends? You also come.
What's learning without some fun? And Bollywood old classics rule everywhere.
I like the people here, their humility, they are so compassionate, they have so much empathy. You see the stray dogs, they are so happy and looked after. And the cats, everywhere you have stray dogs and cats, but nobody ill-treats them. So that is what I like about the Bhutanese culture.
Mountains are something which I love. There's something sacred for me about the Himalayas, and I feel like when you land in a country like Bhutan, I feel more grounded, if you have to say closer to God, when I come into the mountains in a place like this versus if you send me to a temple with bustling multiple people. For me, God resides here in the flowing river, in the snow-capped mountains, in the trees, in the breeze. So I feel like when I come to a place like Bhutan, this is where I can actually feel God and I understand the beauty and power of nature and God.
Then from the Bhutan, what I liked was people were so happy. There are no traffic lights. It does not mean that they don't have traffic. Traffic is there, but the issue is they are very polite, humble. They have time. They are not in hurry. They are giving time to others to move, so that there is no. Actually, I felt there is no need of traffic lights in this place. If you take care of, you are concerned about your other driver colleagues, and you have patience. Definitely, all over the world, I think traffic lights. We don't need traffic lights. We just have to be considerable about the others. The one message which I would like to take with me is to be happy and be active listener. That's all. Thank you.
At the 3,100-meter Dokchula Pass, 108 sacred stupas stand against a cathedral of Himalayan peaks. This skyward theatre, where clouds and prayer flags meet, is a breathtaking monument of 108 permanent prayers etched into the mountain silence.
The third day, I wanted the group to visit the villages of Bhutan. You know, usually whenever you travel to Bhutan, it is Thimphu, Paro, Punakha. But the real Bhutan, as they say the real India is the Bhutan of the villages. We went to a beautiful village on the way to Punakha and met a local woman entrepreneur. We had a meal with her. We saw what homestays look like. We were also very lucky to have witnessed the coronation ceremony of one of the head monks of their village. We saw what prayer in the altar room looks like. We were blessed by the monk.
On way to Punakha, Bhutan offered us its most tender gift, lunch at Mendrelgang Homestay, sharing emadachi around a hearth that has fed generations. By sheer fortune, we stumbled into a Tashi Kadhar ceremony, a sacred blessing of white scarves and resonant chants. As strangers welcomed into this ancient rhythm of gratitude and incense, we realized the most profound moments weren't the ones we scheduled, but the ones where we were simply, purely present.
And people here are very cultured. We went to Punakha Fortress and we observed we saw their festival. Everybody was dressed in their national dress, which is rare to be seen.
Then, Bhutan roared. At the Punakha tshechu, the quiet of the monasteries detonated into a magnificent thunder of colour and masked dancers. This wasn't a performance for tourists, but a living, breathing ritual of sacred cham dances and ancient customs. Surrounded by thousands in their finest silks, our group of 11 finally understood. Bhutan doesn't perform its culture, it lives it with the full force of the thunder dragon in its lungs. By the banks of the Pachu River, hundreds of prayer flags flutter in the 5 sacred colors of existence. In Bhutan, these aren't decorations, they are transmissions. As the wind horse carries mantras across the peaks, the people believe that every snap of the fabric is a prayer completed. It is a quiet, profound surrender. A culture that doesn't shout its intentions, but trusts the wind to carry what words cannot. And then comes stupa, the mini fort made of stones.
You can see here the decoration down. We consider it a stupa, but actually it's not a stupa, that one. In the olden day of other time, when you go for the trekking, people used to keep this one, which symbolizes the next people coming. If you go fast, they know that the first people is reaching, they have crossed that one. First belief is this one. Second belief is people believe that they are offering something to the like a mountain god. So they have to bring stone for the down, carry, and then they build a small there. Okay, you want to try? Please. Bye.
In the heart of Thimphu, simply Bhutan is a living love letter to a civilization that refuses to be summarized. Rather than putting culture behind glass, this immersive museum invites you to sit on low cushions, sip butter tea, and laugh with artisans practicing centuries-old traditions. It's not a performance, it's an open door, pulling you into the warm, authentic center of Bhutanese life.
Litchi garden, and you see the person over here in the poster, he is the great Buddhist master. So we even have his temple there at Punakha, known as Kiichu Lhakhang. So it's a fertility temple. Like if a couple
He's crazy
madman, yeah.
Madman, yeah.
So if a couple is not having a child, if they have any kind of fertility issues, they can simply go to his temple, make a prayer to him, and we believe that he blesses them with their child. And he is also known as divine madman. Put the cup into your right hand and please wait for a moment.
It's broken.
One more. Videos, take some pictures as well. Yes. Song at the same time. So this is just not only a song, it's also kind of prayers, since we believe that we must have killed so many worms and insects unknowingly. So in order to seek forgiveness from them, they chant a prayer here, and at the same time there will be many people working here together. So while working, they sing a song, they flirt, they enjoy, they tease each other so that they don't feel tired easily. So they're going to show you the demonstration. You may watch, you may even take videos if you want.
Gazing over Thimphu like a golden benediction, the Buddha Dordenma fulfills ancient prophecy. Standing 51 meters tall, this serene giant doesn't demand attention. It simply sits in luminous peace, waiting for the world to look up.
This group was amazing, each one highly accomplished, and we learned so much from each other. We'll probably take a book to write. And the beauty of Bhutan and the compassion of Bhutan. But yesterday was for me a red letter day. I think there are times in my life when I've shifted. And yesterday, hiking to the Tiger's Nest, and the surprise was waiting for us. When I got to Tiger's Nest, the monastery, it was a deja vu. I felt I've been here before, and I know I'll be coming back here again. The Tiger's Nest Monastery, the story, as our learned guide Pema ji explained to us, it was Padme Mahasambhava, literally translating into essentially nothing is impossible, highly possible. And as I was hiking yesterday to Tiger's Nest, I had a lot of anxiety and fear started creeping in. And then I slowly started observing that the impossibility is softening up, and slowly it became into highly possible. And as I chanted Mahasambhava, I found a renewed source of energy, and I just became more confident that yes, I can do it. And with our team, we were able to reach, and it was magical, that experience, and listening to all the stories, which probably will take a lifetime to digest and understand. But I know that my life is not the same from this point on.
Built in 1692 around the sacred Taktsang Senge Samdup cave, this architectural marvel clings to a granite precipice 900 meters above the valley floor. It marks the very spot where Guru Padmasambhava, the second Buddha, is said to have arrived on the back of a flying tigress in the 8th century to subdue local demons. For 3 years, months, and days, he meditated in these heights, planting the seeds of Vajrayana Buddhism in Bhutan. Despite devastating fires in 1951 and 1998, the monastery has been meticulously restored, standing today as an eternal testament to a civilization's spiritual resilience and its mastery over the impossible. Everyone loves King here. In every home and heart, His Majesty Jigme Kesar Namgyal Wangchuk is a modern unifier. An Oxford-educated visionary, he blends advanced science with Bhutan's spiritual heritage, deepening the philosophy of happiness. Walking among his people with characteristic simplicity, the king offers a rare, radical sight. A progressive leader who prioritizes peace and wellness of his countrymen, encouraging brotherhood over the mere choreography of power.
Everyone over here, today our group, they have specially came here in Bhutan to learn about conscious living. So what I've learned from this trip is that everyone is already living a conscious life in a different way. So from this trip, I think I have learned so much from different people. I think everyone from the group is very accomplished. So I have had some talks with them. So I've learned different aspects of life. I've seen life through a different lens. From this group, everyone was nice to each other. Everyone was helpful to each other. So I think cooperation is something I personally learned from this group.
Everybody has accomplished something great in their life. So it was nice knowing the experiences of the people, learning from them how they achieved whatever they have achieved in this life.
यहाँ से मैं जो यहाँ पे सीख के जा रही हूँ कि मुझे अर्ली मॉर्निंग उठना है अपने हेल्थ के लिए. दिनेश भैया ने मुझे यही सिखाया है, अर्ली मॉर्निंग उठना है एंड स्वीट कम करना है. थैंक यू.
Initially, I was very apprehensive to come in the group because I didn't know the people, and I was telling my husband that no, I don't want to go. But after coming here, everybody in the group was very friendly, down to earth, happy, and I'm so happy that I came here. I made so many friends, and I learned so many things from all of them. Like from Dineshji, I learned how to be strict in your schedule, and you have to आपको एक discipline रखना है life में, while eating, while exercising. Only then you can live long, and you have to be then you will be happy. And from Ashwani ji, I learned कैसे वो मतलब everybody is so learned here. He told us about all about CO2 and all about AQI. Though we know we are doctors, we know quite a lot. Even then, I learned so many things from everybody, and I'm happy I came here.
Be a good listener. Be always curious and inquisitive, because there is something to learn from everybody around you, no matter what strata, no matter what rung of life, no matter what age. That's something which I have practiced, but I want to keep doing that, and this experience has made me even more humble and more curious to keep focusing on that aspect.
Go to that level where you are connecting with the people. Don't take it at the level of only talking. I think take it to the level where the other person starts responding, because they made us respond. You know, the entire Bhutan experience is all about, am I doing something even partly what Arun did with us? Am I doing something with this whole guide did with us, right? I think that is the biggest question we should ask ourselves, that before we look at perfection surrounding, am I really making it happen?
I commit to get up by 6:30, and 6:30 to 7:30 is my personal health time.
हाँ, मैं भी साथ दूंगी.
For that we'll sleep by 10, so that we get full sleep.
No phone, no Netflix, no
Netflix,
movie.
Nothing.
So for me, this trip was special in the way that, of course, what Ashwini said, that was the high point. But apart from that, we had, a doctor on board. Then we had Ishan from the media, and Ashwini, of course, being from the business side, and People Baba from the environment. So this way we got to really interact with each other and learn a lot from each other, because they all have a lot of experience. And it was not a classroom kind of setting. So we went out, we did sightseeing, we went to homestays. So it was really nice. We went to this school which a monk is running, and there were children in that school, and doctor, he also gave them this demonstration in case there are children and that place is so remote, in case they have choking and all, how do you help them? So it was a life-saving skill that he imparted, and all the children were very happy and they were very eager to learn. So for me, this trip was different than others, and thanks to Dinesh that we could make new friends and really enjoyed this whole trip.
One thing I'm taking away from here, that I try to keep silence during a fasting I do, but now I'm gonna try to do silence most of the time, only speak when it's necessary. So help me, Mahasambhava, make it highly possible.
Manipat mein hu.